Pisces, hello and welcome to your winter 2024-2025 shapeshift reading. We're looking at the shape you're shifting out of, the shape you're shifting into, and what that shapeshift looks and feels like for the winter season. I'm Andy, I'm your reader, and I'm joined today by the Wild Chorus Oracle deck by Abacus Corvus. And this reading is meant to carry you through the entire winter season, from the winter solstice in December to the spring equinox in March. So I recommend that you watch the reading in December at the shift drop to get an idea of what may lie ahead for the season or what themes may be relevant for you. And then as you live through the season, maybe like halfway through, sometime in January or February, watch the reading again, check in with it and see how it's lining up with your lived experience. Usually on the rewatch, the readings hit different. And then watch it again at the end of the season so you can string together the whole thread of your shift experience now that you've lived through the season. All right. Okay, Pisces. Let's see what's going on for Pisces shift this winter. Okay, one more. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. All right, let's look at this together. So we have right at the center, in recognition of harm done. And then surrounding that is healing and supported. So, you know, Pisces, this doesn't really feel like a very linear shape shift. It's not like you're shifting out of healing into supported. It actually feels more like the themes that are coming up right now are the support that you have in your life that is here to be the base for your healing process, because right in the middle here, some sort of harm has been done. Either you are the receiver of that harm, or maybe harm has been dished from you to someone else, or there is like a reciprocal exchange of like, okay, there's been some harm has been experienced, maybe in a relationship or just like in your life circumstances, and there is a real need for support, for healing, whatever that might look like for you, in order to sort of acknowledge and recognize the injury or the rift or the hurt that has been done and has happened this winter. It's interesting too how the recognition of harm done is just this like tree that's been severed, has been cut, something has been cut down, something's been maybe cut short, and the offering of the flowers in the center feels like this, just like acknowledging that harm has been done here. And it may have been a necessary sacrifice, you know, like if you need firewood to keep you warm, then maybe the tree is nearing the end of its life cycle and it's time for it to be sacrificed. But you can still recognize that in that exchange, some harm has been done here. And that can be acknowledged and honored in support of greater healing in the situation. And then there's just the fact that both of these healing cards, the supported card, they're both on this like white, more abstract background. It's just sort of like this larger theme, these surrounding themes that are here to help bolster the recognition of the harm that has been done. Okay, Pisces, interesting. Let's read a little bit about the recognition of harm done. Okay. Accountability, repair, and acknowledging hurt. Flowers are left at the stump of an old tree with petals dropping down like tears. Below the stump, a few baby trees begin to grow. In this image, we see gestures toward recognizing hurt and attempting repair. The sprouting trees can't replace the tree that has been felled, but they add their own life to the ecology of this place. Working with this card, you're asked to locate yourself in a pattern of harm, aka like find your place in a pattern of harm. You may feel hurt, recognize you've caused pain, or hold the tension of both at once. Wherever you find yourself, recognize the cycle of pain is larger than you. Be gentle to the parts of you that are injured, vulnerable, or traumatized. Hold empathy for those feelings in others. This card may warn against rushing into situations that press on old wounds or nudge you toward taking responsibility for repairs that need to be done. In either case, now is a time to proceed with care and compassion. This card also shows up when systemic harm is present in the path that you are considering, so prepare accordingly. And if your current situation feels less serious than all this, maybe this card is just a reminder to be kinder to yourself and others at this time. Relational healing is on the board. Empathetic honesty, a willingness to look at what you've been wanting to ignore. Care for yourself, care for the world, offerings from the heart, respect for your self-protective mechanisms, even if you're trying to change them, releasing shame and calling in repair. Okay. Wow. And it looks like you're just really supported in that. And that the support, it's interesting. There's also this thing of like recognizing the harm that has been done is an act of support. And I like that we have this larger goat becoming the bridge, like bridging a gap for the younger. That is support. Recognizing a gap that you are large enough to fill and going ahead and doing that so that the one that would struggle with that gap is able to safely cross. Like that's that kind of support that needs to happen here, which of course just is that healing honey, that medicinal spoonful that helps to be the balm in this recovery process. Okay, interesting, Pisces. Very clear themes, clear start to this reading. We are going to get into it deeper now and pull some more cards. We have two other decks here. We have the This Might Hurt Tarot, and we also have This Might Help. These are by Isabella Rotman. And so it's your birthday season towards the end of winter here, Pisces. So why don't we just give you a little preview of the rest of this reading. Let's pull from the This Might Hurt Tarot first. This might hurt, Pisces. Seems apt for the recognition of harm done. This might hurt. Wow. And the Magician. So some sort of like gumption or motivation to like go ahead and take action. Or like this, or it could be like even an overconfidence to move forward or to like handle something yourself. Or to like do it all, I don't know. There's something here in recognition of harm done. This might hurt as the Magician. It could just be as simple as like that action that you took. Someone telling you or you telling someone, hey, Because the Magician is about taking action with what you have available to you and being like, okay, listen, that thing you did, that's Magician energy. The thing you did, or how you went about doing that, was actually harmful. And in recognizing that, there is healing, there's acknowledgement, there's mutual support that can happen when you recognize that maybe the way you went about something or the way someone else went about taking an action or doing something, what created harm. Okay, so let's see, this might help. Oh. Okay. We have two cards, the Middle Path and the Fertile Earth, and their imagery is so similar. It's very striking. So that, to me, there's this opportunity for the dawn of a new day, for like a reset, by recognizing maybe two extremes, that something has gone into excess, something has gone into a state of extremity, which does make sense because in January, the nodes of the moon, which do represent these like farther out extremes of experience that we can go through, will move into your sign. North node into Pisces, south node into Virgo, which means the eclipse cycle will start happening in your sign this year in 2025. I think the first eclipse is on this axis is a lunar eclipse in Virgo during your season in March. So the nodes moving into your sign, there is this experience of like urgency and going to extremes, especially with the North node in Pisces, that you may feel called to these extreme swings from one end to the other, or you may think that like drastic actions are necessary at this time. And like maybe they are, because sometimes the nodes, they call them the nodes of fate, because sometimes they can come in and sort of like kick things up in your life and push you towards an experience that feels fated. But sometimes when you go too quick too fast, or you do too much too fast, you can burn out. There can be this like experience of excess with the nodal axis moving into your sign and the eclipses that requires you to seek the middle path for a more moderate, balanced, and tempered way of moving forward that is not so extreme. So that might help. Acknowledging that there is a way to do this that is not excessively harmful to you or to other parties involved, since this also seems really relational. There's a need for y'all to find a little bit more balance and temperance with your methods of creation, with the way that you are going about doing things in your life. Okay. And then the fertile earth talks about environments that are conducive to growth. There could be an imbalance in the soil, so to speak, that is making it so that things are like, if there's an extreme deficit or an extreme like over saturation, either condition is not conducive to growth. You need this like very harmonious balance in order for the crops to grow prolifically. And so fertile earth indicates to me that when you're able to create a homeostatic environment and like cultivate a healthy environment by seeking the middle path, that is how you navigate the nodes moving into your sign, the eclipses happening in your sign over the next 1.5 to 2 years, without doing a bunch of harm to yourself or others, or like experiencing harm by jumping to one extreme or the next. You keep that environment nice and supported by maintaining a moderation and a commitment to healing. Because when our body goes out of homeostasis, it's because we're not taking the middle path. We're going one way or the other. And then that creates a circumstance in which we need to then heal. And healing usually tries to bring us back to some place in the middle where we can then more easily do the homeostasis dance, which is much harder to do when you're on one end or the other. Then it's much harder to bring it back to the center. Interesting. And somehow all of that, creating that healthy environment and choosing the middle path is something hinging here on acknowledging harm done. So we're going to get into it now. If you'd like to follow me for the rest of that reading, click the link in the description below, and that will take you to the shifting space where we will investigate these readings together as a community throughout the winter season. We'll watch the readings together. We'll track transits together. We will pull cards for each other. If that sounds like something you want to investigate and explore, click the link and I'll see you there. Also, Pisces, I do yearly readings, which would be really potent around your birthday. So if you'd like one of those, find me on my website, read all about it, and book. Okay, we're already into it. Here we go.